I invite you to join us for the second day of our Novena in honor of the Sacred Heart as we prepare for the great feast day on the 28th of June. We have chosen today as our patron St. Aloysius Gonzaga. Last year, on the 450th anniversary of his birth on the 9th of March, 1568, Pope Francis declared that this would be the year of Aloysius Gonzaga. It will continue until it actually ends today, the 21st of June. Aloysius Gonzaga is the patron saint of the youth of the world. He came from a very wealthy family in the north of Italy. He was actually a prince, and he decided to abandon his wealth and join a relatively new religious order, the Society of Jesus, more popularly known as the Jesuits. And that led to an extraordinary battle with his father. His father resisted him tooth and nail because the father knew his son was a very rare young man with extraordinary gifts. And he was sure that if Aloysius stayed in the family, it would increase the family fortune and also lead to great glory for the family. Aloysius was not for turning. As a little boy, he had conceived an extraordinary love of the Eucharist. The servants used to see him pray before the tabernacle for hours on end, away beyond his years. Anyhow, he decided to join the Jesuits, set out in priesthood. But God had other plans for him. He was helping to deal with the victims of the plague in Rome in 1591. He contracted the illness himself and he died to the astonishment of all those around him. They were sure that one day he would become the general of the Society of Jesus in the footsteps of Ignatius of Loyola. God had other plans for him. He died young, and therefore it was appropriate that he could be a model for young people with his extraordinary commitment to the poor, the sick, and also he was known for his extraordinary personal chastity and purity of life. So we pray through his intercession for our young people today that they'll keep their ideals high, not allow themselves to be contaminated by the world. It's extraordinary that he's been made the patron saint of those who work to help people afflicted with AIDS. So we turn to St. Aloysius Gonzaga today and ask for his help in our own lives today. Just finally, at his funeral, his Jesuit superior said to his mother, "Madam," he said, "even if your son had lived to be as old as Noah, he couldn't have become more holy." So we turn to St. Aloysius Gonzaga today, help those preparing for the priesthood, and hope that one day they will be as faithful to their calling as Aloysius was to his.